Hello Internet! Today we have a fancy motherboard from Supermicro for repair. I'll start with the easy stuff and replace the slots. The slots are not through hole, but rather surface mount. Keep that in mind because at first I assumed wrong and I ended up buying a bunch of regular slots that I do not need. The process is very simple yet complicated at the same time. This is a large board and it requires large volume of heat rather than high heat, so all I can do at this point is to take it slow. To make the process easier, I will be using a ton of flux, which will produce a ton of smoke, so be sure you have a way to evacuate that somehow. Slowly but surely, I will remove every broken slot, fix any accidentally knocked off components, and clean the pads. With the pads clean, I will apply flux and tin them so that the new slots will have something to grab onto. You want all pads tinned as evenly as possible. Something like this will do the trick. Now, while the correct slots are being delivered, let's address the problem we have on the back of the board, specifically this area here. It looks like one or both of these caps got shorted, causing a mini explosion, so I'll have to get them out of the way. And I will move one of them on the left so that way I can measure it. For now, I want to remove the heatsink so I can visually inspect for any blown MOSFETs that power the processor. Everything here looks okay, so I will proceed working in the back. In here I need to remove everything that's burnt, and I will do that with a diamond Dremel attachment like so. It looks like the damage is only on the top layer, so that's good. And now let's measure this capacitor so we know the correct value for the replacement. I do not have those in stock, so I'll focus on soldering the new slot while the caps are arrived. And this process is basically the same as with the removing them, except this time I don't want to use too much flux because it will sip into the slot. So I'm trying to heat everything as evenly as I can to prevent any excessive warping of the board. And that's it. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. And caps are finally came in. Let's put them on. I cannot put them straight like before because the layers burnt a little bit, so I have to solder them on an angle. It doesn't have to look pretty as long as it's all functional, like me. If you've ever seen my face, you'd know what I mean. As always, any repairs like that, I'd like to cover them up with the protective mask. After which I can proceed with reinstalling the heatsink and installing this giant CPU. And now is the interesting part of how I apply thermal paste on a CPU of this size. Because it's so large, conventional method of spreading or Xing will not work, but I can either make the bead thicker by removing the needle, or I can come up with a weird pattern, which, believe it or not, actually resulted in a very good spread, as I later discovered. You'll see later what I mean. And we finish it off with a fresh battery, as usual. Okay, so this motherboard supports the new type of SSD drives, and the post that's supposed to hold the screw was ripped from the board so that the SSD cooler will not be able to properly contact the SSD. I mean, sure, there are 3 more available slots, but I wanted to make it right, and I machined this post on a lathe, mixed in with some epoxy, and glued the post to the board, and hopefully it would hold. But I doubt it. In any case, when I powered the board to check for voltages, it gave me 5 short and 1 long beep, indicating the problem with the memory. I also was not getting any video output from the board. I later realized that the customer sent me the wrong memory type. Because this is a server board, these often use ECC registered memory sticks, which usually cost a lot more money than a regular gaming stick, so customer later confirmed that installing proper memory module on the board booted, and it gave me this image, so I guess we have a winner. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and goodbye.